Today I'm going to be showing this money making method, which has been basically a thing for a while, but with current prices it's very OP for something that basically takes like no money in investment. So it's like you can literally make, I think it's like 20 mil an hour up to 30 mil an hour with like under 100 mil coins worth of gear. Right now I'm using a maxed out Rod of the Sea. This is fishing squid, by the way, so yeah. Let's see how much money I make, and then I'm gonna go over my setup afterwards. 5-minute grinding starts now. Alright, so if you take 13.2 million, which is how much I made an hour, and then you divide it by 86, which is how much secret chance I have, that's 153,000. So 153,000 times 100, assuming this is what you would get at 100%, which is definitely achievable, but I don't have the fishing level for that. But still, that I can make about 13.2 million. That's not far off. So I make about 2 mil less. If you take the 15.3 million, assuming you get the fishing EXP boost right over here, you get quite a few of these whenever you're fishing. So you're gonna get quite a few of these rare ones. I'd say maybe like 3 an hour, maybe. So that would add on about like 2.5 million. So that's about like 17.5 million an hour. Adding this one on, you might get it 1 per hour, 2 hours, I don't know. So this might make it, I'd say maybe like 2 extra mil an hour. So that adds on to make it about like 19 mil an hour. And then if you add the squid pets, right over here, you'll be probably getting quite a few of these uncommons and stuff, and eventually, like, just the rare one, that's an extra, like, decent amount of money. You won't get the squid pets very often, though, but this is a good side cash, especially if you get the legendary one. So, I'd say maybe add, like, 500k to this, maybe even more, but I'll just say 500k since I'm not sure how common these are. So that's like 20 mil an hour right there. And since I'm actually like not using a 100% secret chance setup, just reduct the 2 mil that I was calculating earlier, I'm still making 18 mil an hour while just fishing in gear that costs like under 2 million coins. This is like 1 mil coins for this gear. And then I'm using a level 100 ammonite, a somewhat maxed out Rod of the Sea, and yeah, so it's like my setup is just underneath 100 mil for sure, and it's very cheap. Even with a super cheap setup, you can still make, I'd say, about like 15 mil coins. Like, as long as you have like 60 secret chance, you're literally still going to be making like 15 mil an hour. The setup is you want to have an auto pet rule for ammonite, then combat squid. You need to have a epic squid or legendary squid, of course, to get some extra ink sacks, which is basically what makes this money making method pretty good. And you just stand here, make sure that it's raining by going to the NPC, buying some rain. And then you just come over here and you fish, and whenever there's squids that pop out of nowhere, just go and kill them. And yeah, this is a pretty good money making method. I definitely say it's pretty good for beginners as well. You can probably just, like, instead of going to farming, if you just grab a fishing setup and get like the fishing like, I don't know, enough fishing to use the Rod of the Sea. Oh yeah, Rod of Legends. So yeah, if you can get enough to at least use the Rod of Legends with like shark armor and stuff, you'd definitely be able to make like 13 mil up to 20 mil an hour. So yeah, it's very cheap for the setup. You don't need a very good setup, but the better setup you have, the more money you make. And this is pretty good for beginners because you can straight up make like 10 mil an hour pretty easy. And it scales up pretty easily as well with the more fishing level you have. So yeah, I definitely recommend this for beginners. And then the amount of money that Crimson Owl makes is almost similar. So this is like making the same amount of money, but just you don't get the XP. You don't get as much fishing XP, but it's like the same amount of money. So yeah. See you guys. Thanks for watching.